Unfortunately, Moody's Analytics warns supply chains disruptions will get worse before they get better. Sean, I want to hear your thoughts on this.
Yes, good afternoon to everyone. I will try to give you the background understanding that I have of the situation. Now, the US consumes about 25%, it was responsible for 25% of the consumption in the world. Europe and China has similar consumption, but they're not shipping. So really and truly, the US is probably responsible for about 50% of the shipping. And the majority of it comes in on the West Coast because they're coming from China, coming from Japan, and so on, right? So a lot of it comes in on the West Coast. So when you start to get problems and the ships backing up on the US West Coast off Los Angeles and so on, that is a serious problem. So how did we get here? This is what I understand from CNN and the people who've been mentioning this. Now, even during the pandemic, because America was shut down and nobody was manufacturing because people weren't going to work, they were actually importing more because people still needed supplies. But it's just that they had the country on lockdown and we're ending up importing more from China and from wherever else. So what has happened now is as they're starting to come back out of the lockdown, people are like just demanding their freedom and wanted to come back out. You're having a situation where all the staff, their problems, I don't know what happened. They said that many of the older truck drivers have just retired. They didn't come back after the pandemic. So the problem is the ships are backed up at the port because the port is congested because the importers don't have truck drivers to come and get the containers out of the ports. That's the story. And the importers are saying we can't do better because we don't have truck drivers, we don't have personnel, and all of our warehouses are full anyhow. So it looks like some people haven't come back out to work after the pandemic, or because of restrictions and mandates and so on, you have personnel problems and the ports are congested. Now, the knock-on effect of this is extremely terrible. You've got 50% of America, you've got 50%, the port where, the site where more than half of America, 60% of America's goods are coming in. But the ships are out there in the sea. Right now, there's a total of 100 out there. So what's happened now is the importers, because they can't bring their things from the port, are having to pay storage for those containers because the shipping line has delivered them, but they now have to pay the rental fee on those containers. So by the time they get those goods out of the port, it's going to be a lot more expensive. So the other problem with the shipping is that because the ships are all locked up there with so many hundreds of thousands of containers, you have a shortage of containers now, so that the cost of a container it has gone from 500 US to 16,000 US. I mean, it is seriously expensive now. So that is going to be added on to the cost of the goods. So straight away, because of this shipping bottleneck, the container cost has gone up massively, has gone up 30 times. Then the next problem that you have too is because those ships should have left Los Angeles a long time ago to go to the next port, to go back to the original destination. So what has happened now is all those pickups are canceled. Now, for example, I was trying to send some 6 boxes over to Trinidad. So they called me and said to me on Thursday or Friday, Thursday, the cancellations for the ships that were supposed to come later on down in the month. The last one is going on Wednesday. Because you don't have the paperwork ready, we can't do anything for you. So I am stuck with 6 boxes in my garage because there's a cancellation. So here's the problem. You have the extremely high cost now added on to the goods because of the shipping, the container cost has gone up so much. And then now you're going to get supply disruptions because of the huge amount of cancellations of shipping pickups. You know,
Right.
as shipping lines would have come in. So the knock-on effect is yet to come. You are going to get serious shortages going forward into the new year. So
Wow.
it's a problem. And as they were saying in one of the other articles that I posted, even though Biden has called in everyone, they can't solve this problem by Christmas, and they can't get out of this problem without it getting worse first.
Listen, so for us in the Caribbean, we're looking at a hike in prices.
Yes.
Because we're going to have a shortage of food.
Yes, so there's going to be a hike in prices because of the increased shipping and costs. And then you're going to get shortage because of the disruptions in shipping. So and that is going to make the price go up even more. So you're going to get a double whammy. You're going to have serious shortages and high prices.
Increase in shipping costs, and then a shortage of the food.
Yes.
Food supply then will push up the prices. Sean, doesn't this sound as though we're living in Revelation, in the end time?
I grew up with the knowledge of this end times. And I was actually alive in the oil crisis. I was a small child in the oil crisis. But the people in my church thought the world was ending, and they started teaching end time thing and eschatology. So I always had this awareness, but I never thought that I would have experienced what the Bible talk about like this, so real, where you have this effective do or die. You can't buy or sell. You can't function without taking this step. And then all these food shortages and these high prices. But so to me, it is really difficult. It has made it very clear to me where we are in terms of Bible prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a joke. This is real. And we have to get real with this. And we have to come to grips with where we are in life and where we are in God's scheme of things and in the overall plan for mankind.